What in the ever-loving fuck happened to this generation? Take it from me, a 22-year-old male, gonna be 23 in November, and older generations say they have it easy to get a job. My ass, my fucking ass, take a listen of what I'm gonna say. There are jobs that are posing as short-staffed, or underworked, yet they still have the audacity to turn down positions. Not only that, older generations say to go get a job at a position of where they would think of where they can put kids under the roof of. And I'm talking about places that literally don't fit qualifications. You'd be put under countless hours of interviews, and never got hired at all. You would be extremely lucky making a living from only doing side hustles, like drop shipping, and delivering food. If only you would be lucky enough, you would be working at small corporate locations like fast food, and retail stores, from Dollar General to Walmart. Seriously. Parents nowadays literally do not understand the pain the younger generations have. We'd be lucky to make the federal minimum wage, and live under a damned shoebox due to the fact we're struggling to make a living for ourselves. Literally my own mom telling me the same thing. Yeah. I need to make a life for myself. Just telling me to get a job at point blank at random ass locations that will not hire me at all doesn't give me a foot into the door. You would be lucky enough to start a Shopify store, drop shipping shit that you didn't know what existed in the artificial intelligence's inventory. Or just going on the road every day being a DoorDash delivery driver. Or if you can take an alternative route and invest in crypto, which good luck in that by the way, most people say it's way too unstable. To be honest, I kinda agree with those people. But all I am saying is when old people tell me to get a job out somewhere I wouldn't get hired. I would get lucky as far as the interview process, and that is it. Corporate would think I'd be a good choice, then locally, until I get thrown a curveball, saying, nah, you're not hired. This is why making a living from side hustles would be a good enough choice for those are desperate enough. From what I've been seeing on my For You page on TikTok, ads seeing about being a DoorDash delivery driver. For those that have a car that is reliable enough, I'd say go for it. Because no one is literally getting paid enough to even support one another in this shitty economy. My stepdad one day said, "The economy's great, you're just being lazy." I'm sorry, what? He's literally telling me that I'm the lazy one all because no one is hiring. Well, news for you, most jobs are a scam. You would be dead-ass lucky no one would be breathing down your neck forcing you to apply impulsively to other jobs all over God's creation while the government is being more unstable by the months going by. The most unfortunate cause is having a funny feeling since last year. Nobody in my home county is in the mood to hire me. I literally had one offer that had lightning quick response time. That company was True Green. I almost got hired, until I waited at the most shitty time because of no transportation. Yeah, my stepdad was really cocky after he sold his one pickup truck, all 'cause I wanted a job. That alone lasted 7 months. Yeah, and this is taking me another 7 months to get me the same luxury speed of HR responding to my applications. There is no fucking way out of all odds I just turned down a job that I can be making the average hourly salary as a McDonald's worker. And from what my own mother told me that I need to start making a life for myself, I really hate to sound defensive all because the economy is going downhill. But I think it'll be best to just shut up. When I actually start work I'll be laid off in a week's time, because it would be down to a point that it would be the second coming of the Great Depression. My stepdad wouldn't have no choice but to retire, although his pay rate would be cut 50% at least. On top of all that, Gen Z as a whole generation would be in a whole world of panic. Atop of not having a job, life would be a living hell, cause living in the streets alone is apparently a criminal felony. And my stepdad telling me one day to just unalive myself, wow, that just totally gets the purpose nowhere, and fast. Some older generations are actually cool if they don't judge the younger generations, or at least complaining about the younger generations. But when the fuck am I gonna start mentioning names? I just don't know what to ramble about. The whole world is falling apart. I am barely making money from crypto, and to top it all off, when I see job openings, I think they're all a scam. Especially when I see them on Facebook. People in Clarion County, Pennsylvania, or other remote counties in other states in the boonies, let the word be known, we want a good and stable government. Also, if anyone says I fucked up the interviews, I try to be as honest as I can. If I never worked in the location before, I'd just say shut up. I'd also ask if they even worked there themselves. If they say yes, I'd just ask, then why in the flip pity flop pity fuck did you complain about my interview technique? I am a noob at this. If you judge more, the more I just rat out people who just open their mouth to make the motor mouth look bad enough to be fired. Trust me, you would never want to get fired for no reason. If my mom says I need to make a life for myself, people need to make a change for our slowly deteriorating government. Seriously, something bad is eating them from the inside out. Also, if you guys think I'm speaking out of my ass, here are actual people who I can actually relate to. If anyone calls me lazy over text, you're immediately blocked. I'm sorry, but being called lazy under the worst possible time of finding a job, you would never hear the end of it from younger generations. I don't beg for money at least. But being apparently lazy? Come on man, you're just as bad as today's people anyway. Other than that rant, after I show those videos, the main one is over. You're welcome.
Want to know how up Gen Z is? Not in a bad way, just in a this economy is insane kind of way. Over 50% of Gen Z adults still live with their parents. Not because they want to, but because rent is brutal. More than 70% have side hustles just to survive. Think reselling sneakers, DoorDash, or editing TikToks. Forget home ownership. Most Gen Z are like, I'll rent forever or live with 3 roommates. Banks? Nah, they're using Cash App, Venmo, or Chime. Traditional banks feel like dinosaurs. And get this, 40% started investing before 20. Crypto, stocks, even NFTs. And yeah, some learn the hard way. But here's the twist. They're more financially aware than people think. They just play by different rules. Gen Z isn't broken. They're adapting to a system that's already broken. If you're not adjusting, you're already behind.
So how exactly is all of this supposed to end? And by this, I mean this fuck-ass version of life that we've all been sold. Nobody can get a job because nobody is hiring, despite the fact that every time you walk into anywhere, there's always only 2 to 3 people who clearly look overworked and can actually use the help. And if by some miraculous chance you were offered a job, it's a sick joke of an hourly salary, especially when you consider that you can't even survive off of $20 an hour anymore. Yet you have jobs out here that want you to go through 5 rounds of interviews for $14 an hour, and if you actually went to college, which is, what you were supposed to do to gain the experience necessary for a decent job, you get dick slapped across the face with some bullshit talking about 5 years of experience required for a starting position. And again, even if you are lucky enough to land a job, you have to hope that it's full time so you can get health benefits, only for you to go and use those health benefits just to find out that they don't exactly cover you in the event that you're actually sick or you require actual medical attention. Car insurance costs are going absolutely through the roof because you guessed it, you pay into it only for them to screw you over when you need it the most. The cost of food at the grocery stores is absolutely insane. The same few items that you could have gotten 10 to 15 years ago now cost you at least $100 every time you step foot into that damn store. Corporate greed is at an all-time high. CEOs and companies keep getting more and more filthy rich every single year as they continue to increase the prices of their products. The housing market is a complete joke. You have corporations that are buying up homes and forcing us all to be forever renters. And speaking of rent, you have apartment complexes charging $2,000 a month for some shitbox little place that's not upgraded and it's falling apart, but they will have the audacity to charge you $250 for an application fee that you don't get back even if you don't get the place that conveniently also requires you to make 3 times the rent, plus a security deposit, plus first and last month just to move in. Can't live in your car because it's not safe and they'll kick you out of any parking lot that you try and stay in overnight. Can't even be homeless because now it's criminalized to do so. Every single thing that we eat is full of microplastics or chemicals, which is giving us a disturbing amount of young people cancer these days. Everything that we are consuming in our media is nothing but brain rot garbage filled with propaganda or an agenda-driven message that we're tired of being forced to listen to, and our social media has fried our brains so much due to our insane codependency on dopamine hits due to our ridiculous depressing lives that now we can't even go to movie theaters anymore or take your children out to eat in public without needing to shove a screen in front of their faces or our faces to keep them distracted with quick short-form content. Our language and how we communicate with one another is deteriorating right before our very eyes as TikTok lingo is becoming the new norm. You have real, actual humans, adults even, who are out there saying phrases like fine shite or dead ass, as if that makes any sense at all. And every one of our government officials and politicians in our communities and in Washington, D.C., instead of actually putting together policies and laws which will help protect the people that they represent, are only focused on making themselves richer and not helping us at all. They'd rather regurgitate the same bullshit political talking points to keep us all fighting with each other. Left versus right, black versus white, pronouns, gender identity. In other words, our society is completely and totally fucked, and the people who could do anything about it are useless. So what then? How does this all end? Are we just all supposed to become content creators these days, hoping to buy into this rat race of competing for views and likes with the best hooks or engaging content to try and help us escape this slave matrix system that we've been forced to live in? I mean, just think about it. At what point are we ever going to get to a point in society where finally things start working out for us? What is that going to take? Because it seems to me that no matter what we do, no matter how hard we try, things don't seem to ever get any better. How is this supposed to lead to an eventual happy ending? Or are we just doomed to a shitty life led by shitty people until we clock out for good? I mean, think about the fact that you had a 1 in a trillion chance of being born, and this is the best that we can do? I don't know, man. Seems like we were destined for far greater things than to be sitting around here depressed, broke, and wishing for a better life. Shit just doesn't seem right to me.
Guess who's applied to 200 different jobs and has gotten 0 replies yet? I feel like you have a better chance of making $1 million business from scratch than get a minimum wage job in this job market. What do you mean? As soon as it's my turn to graduate university, now nobody is hiring. Like, how are you gonna tell me I need 4 years of experience for an entry-level job? This is the experience. It's the same process. No.
I'm not a U.S. veteran. No, I don't have a disability. I'm Hispanic and
Latino for all that matters.
Oh my gosh, I can't do it anymore.
You know, maybe if I let my intrusive thoughts win and run my car into a tree, it'll be cheaper than living, because I'll be dead. Oh, there's a house I'll never be able to afford because life just likes to bend me over and screw me. No, because I love getting paid $7 an hour when I have 4 degrees. Make that make sense. And they wonder why I'm living off of canned tuna and chicken nuggets. Is there a Dunkin' around here? Aw, look at that cute couple walking. Wish that was me, but I'm single and alone. How is gas $4? Like, wasn't it $2 2 days ago? I guess I'll just fucking walk everywhere. Old people shouldn't drive. I said it multiple times. Old people need to get off the fucking road. That's a very nice bridge over there. Maybe I'll, you know. Oh shit, I forgot I was driving. If there's not a Dunkin' around here, is there like a Starbucks? I need caffeine. My only source of serotonin is caffeine. I love going 25 and a 45. It's so much fun. There is too many people here. I'm going home.
P.S. Do not mention struggles of finding a job to older generations, today in 2025. Because you will not hear the end of it.